Hi friends, and welcome back to another lesson with me. Vandaag gaan ons oor voornaamwoorde praat. Today we're going to talk about pronouns. I don't know how much you remember from pronouns in grade 1, but that's okay because today we'll be starting a scratch and I'll be explaining it from the very beginning again. Let's get started. Voornaamwoorde. Do you remember how to break this up? Let's see. Dit is voor, naam en woorde. Voornaamwoorde. Awesome. So, today we're going to be breaking up our pronouns into boys and girls, as well as learning new pronouns. So the black is English. Everything you see on the side is English. And I would also like to add my. Awesome. Let's get started. I or mine. How do we say I or my when it comes to boys? Dit is ek en dit is my. Awesome. And with girls, same thing. Ek and my. So, I and my doesn't change when it comes to boys and girls. But let's look at the words or the pronouns. They do change when it comes to boys and girls. So, he is hy. And she is sy. Awesome. Let's move on. His is sy. And her is haar. Are you still with me? I will explain it in a minute. Let's just wrap up our table. Mine and hers. So mine is myne. With girls as well, that is myne. But hers is haar. Awesome. Now let's have a look at it and break it down. I and my stays the same with boys and girls. If I'm referring to myself, whether I'm a girl or a boy, I will be using I and my, it doesn't matter. He and she changes when it comes to boys and girls. He becomes hy, she becomes sy. Okay? Now this is where it gets tricky. His and her, which is the next step in our pronouns. His is sy and her is haar. Don't get confused by this say and this say. Just know and understand that she means sy. Sy lees a book. If it's used in that context, so if I say Melissa reads a book, Melissa lees a book, I'm going to replace Melissa with she, and she becomes sy. Sy lees a book. Whereas in this situation with the boys, where you see say again, we are not replacing a name with say. We are saying that his is say. Let me repeat that. Say with girls is replacing a name, a proper noun. So, Melissa lees a book. Melissa reads a book. Sy lees a book. She reads a book. In this instance, it would be Ben lees a book. That's sy book. Ben reads a book. It's his book. Say in this part shows ownership. So when you use say for boys, it's showing that it belongs to him. When you say for girls, we are just replacing it with the name. That is the difference between say for girls and say for boys. Does that make sense? Should I go over it again? No problem. Say for girls is replacing a name. Melissa has a book. Melissa het a book. Melissa turns into she. So she has a book. Sy het a book. So we turned Melissa into she and Melissa into say. Whereas with boys, say is to show it belongs to him. So we can't say Ben has a book. Sy het a book. Say means girl. So it automatically means that we are referring to a girl. But when we say Ethan has a book, it's his book. Ethan het a book. Dis sy book. Does that make sense now? So remember, we replace names of girls with say, which means she. Whereas his means say. That's all you need to remember. So, he is hy, she is sy. His is sy, and her is haar. Dit is haar book. So the way we would say it is his book, the sy book, it is her book, dis haar book. Mine, myne, stays the same for boys, and myne stays the same for girls. Hers becomes hare. Dit is hare. Okay? Awesome. Now let's move on to our new voornaamwoorde. We have they, which becomes hulle. We have theirs, which becomes hulle. We have you, which is jy. Then we have your and yours, which is jou and jona. Awesome. Let's go over these. They, hulle. Theirs, hulle sin. So, they kick the ball. Hulle skop die bal. The ball is theirs. Die bal is hulle. Got my E. Hulle sin. Let's say that again. Hulle skop die bal. They kick the ball. The ball is theirs. Dis hulle sin bal. These are two words. Okay? Awesome. Then you is jy. Yours is jou. And yours is jona. And your is jou. Should we go over it again one more time? Let's do that. I and my stays the same for boys and girls. Ek en my, ek en my. He is hy. She is sy. His is sy. Her is haar. Mine is myne en myne. Hers is hare. They is hulle. Theirs is hulle sin. You is jy. Your is jou. And yours is jona. This dot at the top here stands for an I. So instead of putting an I, we put a comma at the top and then an N afterwards. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this lesson with voornaamwoorde. See you again next time. Bye!